Today I'm going to be talking about how to maintain your recovery after treatment and how to prevent relapse. These are all things that I have learned since leaving treatment. Some of these I did well, some of them I did not do well, but all of these I think would have been very helpful to do and to know. The first thing, and the thing I cannot stress the most, is do not fall back to eating safe foods. Do not cut anything out of your diet. It's really easy to just fall back into eating safe foods because they're easy. But if you do that, your eating disorder will make all other foods just seem that much scarier and that much harder to eat. And suddenly the foods that you were once okay eating now are really hard to eat again. Don't let your eating disorder get any more wiggle room and take away any foods. Once you leave treatment and once you have control over your food again, your eating disorder is going to flare up and it'll want you to just eat the safer food, but you can't do that. Maintain what you were doing in treatment. Don't cut anything out or just stick to safe foods because it'll make things a lot harder in the long run. The second thing goes off of my first tip, and that is to follow your meal plan. And I don't mean a specific day-to-day, oh, these are the exact foods and measurements I'm going to eat. I mean your general meal plan that has the amount of servings you should be having and the amount of snacks you should be having and maybe add-ons, just your general meal plan. And the biggest thing is, even if you're not hungry, still eat. It's not intuitive eating if you just skip a meal or snack when you're not hungry. That's not intuitive eating. A trap I fell into, and I know some other people have too, is going, well, my body's not telling me it's hungry, so I don't need to eat right now. But that's so, just until you and your dietitian and your just support team agree that you are 100% ready to go to intuitive eating and that you can do it in a healthy way and your eating disorder won't creep in, then go to intuitive eating. Don't go before then. Stick to your meal plan, stick to mechanical eating. It'll be so helpful post-treatment and in the long run, I promise. The third tip is to have outpatient supports set up and planned before you leave treatment. This is something I did do and something that was very helpful because before I left treatment, I was already connected to outpatient and already had appointments booked with a dietitian and a therapist, and that was so helpful. It's very hard to leave treatment and go from support every single day to support 1 or 2 hours a week. So make sure you have as much support and you're as connected as you can be with outpatient, and have that set up before you leave treatment so that you have something to go back to, so that you're not just going back to no support. Number 4, take the transition back into your day-to-day real life slowly. Don't immediately jump right back into school, back into a bunch of classes, into full-time work. Give yourself time to gradually build those things up and get used to doing life again. When you're leaving treatment, you're in a fragile and vulnerable state. So don't overwhelm yourself with a bunch of things. Recovery is the ultimate priority. So don't pile on so much that you can't focus on your recovery. Give yourself time to acclimatize and adjust back to the busyness of day-to-day life. If you become too busy and too stressed and too overwhelmed, that's when your eating disorder will really flare up and you'll want to turn to it to cope and to manage things. And that's the exact opposite of what we want. The fifth thing is to have a plan for when things get hard, or have a backup plan for a crisis. Make a list of high-risk situations where you know it will be hard for you. So these could be things like going shopping for clothing or bathing suits, getting weighed at the doctor's office, having a big schedule change all at once, like going from being at home 24/7 to being at school full-time. It could be being under the influence or being around a person who's overly health conscious or a diet guru. It could be gaining weight, it could be stress, whatever it is for you that you know your eating disorder will flare up in. Make a list of those situations and then write what you'll do in response. Write down whatever you know you'll need to keep yourself recovery focused and moving in a positive direction when your eating disorder is louder and things are a lot harder. Maybe when things get tough, you'll need more therapy sessions. Maybe you'll need to have less control over your food and have someone else kind of prepare and dish your portions for you. Maybe you will need to go back to a meal plan or have set parameters around your exercise. Maybe you need support after dinner or during dinner. Whatever it is that will help you when things get tough, make a plan. The sixth tip is similar to the last one, but that is to know your early warning signs of relapse or your eating disorder creeping in. It's different for everybody, but before you go home, let your support system know what it will look like for you. so that they can keep an eye out and keep you accountable, and so that you can keep an eye out too and know that your eating disorder is creeping in. And you can figure out what you guys will do when the behaviors do start creeping in, if they do. And then you can address, like, why are you turning to your eating disorder right now? Is there something going on that we need to fix or take away? The 7th tip is to keep in mind that recovery is not perfect. Relapses and slip-ups happen. They're totally normal. Try not to be hard on yourself. Remember that no one can recover perfectly. When slip-ups happen, see if you can identify what caused it, if there was a cause. That way you can learn from it and keep an eye out for that in the future. And then just try and forgive yourself and best you can move on. What's important after the slip-ups and after the relapses is that you keep your recovery in mind and you keep fighting your eating disorder. Because it's okay to have those bad days. They happen to me, they happen to all of us. What's important is just that you keep moving forwards from them. Tip number 8 is to remember how far you've come. It's really easy when you have bad days and when you have slip-ups and when things get tough to feel like you've made no progress and to feel like you're right back in your eating disorder and you're not better at all. But really, you've grown, you've learned, you've changed so much, and those experiences can't be undone. You know so much more about recovery now, you're that much farther along, and you'll never be back where you were. No matter how bad you feel, you've made a progress. Because you're still there, you're still fighting, you're still chugging along. Recovery isn't something where you just go up and down. You go around in a spiral and you can't get back to where you were. It's impossible because you're different now. You've grown. The last tip, tip number 9, is to make sure you have an emotional release or a source of fun, preferably both. Do have something that makes you happy, that you look forward to doing, that makes you laugh and just feel good and just forget your troubles for a bit. And also make sure you're doing self-care to take care of yourself and deal with those emotions. Recovery is so hard, and you gotta have that emotional release and that outlet where you just go have fun, you can forget about your problems for a bit and just enjoy yourself. I think that's just so important, and it's something that's definitely kept me sane the last few months during like school stress and exams and surgery and everything. So there you have it. Those are my 9 tips for leaving treatment and how to prevent a relapse after treatment and just how to maintain your recovery. I really hope you guys enjoyed this and found this helpful. Let me know if you guys have any tips in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!